G'day, I'm Steve. This is Woodworking Masterclass. Welcome to the workshop and part 5 of a 6-part series on building a plate rack. Alright, now the main part of this episode is to do a little bit of carving and show you a very simple but very effective carving that you can do with a minimum of carving tools. It's called a houndstooth. Okay, make some room. And where I want it to go is below the bottom shelf. I just want a little shelf or a little rail from here to the other side that maybe, I don't know, you can hang cups on, or just as a decorative piece that sets the rack off. And also it's another skill you can acquire. What I've done is got another piece of timber, and I cut it and planed it to the width that I want. This has got a nice little bit of figure in it too, which is quite pleasant. And what I want to do, as I said before, is a houndstooth pattern. Now how the houndstooth is drawn looks like that top rail. I thought about doing some gadrooning, but I think this will suit it better. And it's very easy to draw, but there are a couple of little things you got to be aware of. Now this represents the rail that I'm going to use, and I want a 5mm border on each side, and then I'm going to do this pattern in the middle, and I'll show you how to draw the pattern up. Need a compass, square, pencil. So now I'll show you how to draw the houndstooth pattern, and then I'll show you how to set it up on the rail that you're going to be using. Mark a point and make sure you set the compass so a circle will just touch that line there and that line there, and they are the inside of your border. I'm using a 2B lead in here so you can see the circles I'm drawing. Another circle intersecting that one. That's the first step. You get a row of circles along here. Next step, put your square on this bottom line, and then where your compass points are, and you can see them where the point of the compass has actually pierced the paper, just carry those lines up. And the same process as if you're setting out tenons or you're setting out dovetails or whatever. Put your pencil on the dot to start with, then move your square up to the pencil. That way you're going to be accurate with it. Whereas if I put that here, then put my pencil, I'm actually not on the point that I want to be on, and you get what they call a compound error, and you'll find it gets worse and worse the more you use it. Okay, that's what we've got now. All these circles with perpendicular lines going through them. Then it's a question getting the compass on the line here where the circumference of the circle actually intersects this line we've got, which is going to be another feature. Put the point on the intersecting line and then just draw an arch. So now we've got that pattern. Same thing on the other side. Just mirror what you did on this side. Here's where it gets interesting, because that's the pattern we've got. You can then decide how you want the pattern to look. For example, you can colour or carve these ones here, which then gives you either circular pattern. You can see there the 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, or depending how you start and finish, you can have it so the eye will pick up flowers like you used to do it at school when you were a kid. Another thing you can do is have this part in relief, and then you end up with diamond shapes. So it really is a really versatile pattern to carve. The other thing I like with this is you only need a few carving chisels. I'll time lapse this because I think this is going to take me around 45 minutes or maybe a tad longer. I know I did one many years ago and I tried it in a softwood. In Australia it was white beech, which is very similar to lime or basswood, and then when I actually came to do the carving itself, it was in spotted gum, was a very hard eucalypt. When I was doing it in the softwood, it took me 20 minutes. When I did it in the eucalypt, it took me 3 hours. So go figure. Well, that was interesting. For you, it was just a transition shot of about a second. But in that second, 2 hours has elapsed. And after me saying to you, you've got to be careful when you lay it out because you can make a mistake, guess what? I made the mistake. Although I continued to carve it, as you can see there, well, there's a close-up of it. And as you can tell, the gap from here to here is larger than the gap from here to here. Although a couple of lessons have been learnt. Firstly, and normally, most of you that have watched me know I never cut to final size until I finish doing what I'm doing, just in case of a mistake. Now, had I done that with this piece of rail, I could have had an extra inch on this end and an extra inch on this end. Then I could have just chopped a bit off there, chopped a bit off there, and centralised the design. However, that wasn't the case, and I persevered, and I thought what I could do, I'm not going to do it, but what I could do if I wanted to cheat was cut the tenon a bit further in, and then the tenons on all the other shelves for the plate rack, I could extend on one side. And that way it would shorten the plate rack by about 19 mil or 3/4 of an inch, and this rail would fit. But I thought, nope, that's cheating, and if you have the same problem, you'll know how to get out of it. But I thought, all right, I'll set another one up and I'll make this one from scratch, and I've also found a much easier way to draw it up. So it's been a great learning curve for me, and I hope you learned something from it as well. Okay, so I'll show you an easier way. If you decide that's the design you want to go with the 4 little petals in the circle, an easier way to draw it up is, and that's where I'm going to stop this one, because then I do the carving again, only a completely different way. So if you want to learn another way, maybe a quicker way of doing it, please check out the next video. If you'd like to see all this in one hit, then it's on my Vimeo channel, which you can log on to or check out at woodworkingmasterclass.com.au. If you like what we do, please like us on Facebook. And if you'd like to be on a regular newsletter list, join up the e-workshop at woodworkingmasterclass.com.au. And if you'd like to be a supporter, please check out our Patreon site, where you can help encourage us and we give you some great rewards in return. So until we meet again, remember to keep it sharp and, more importantly, keep it safe and enjoy your woodwork. I did say a couple of videos ago this was a long day in the shed. So please hang in there, and I look forward to you shedding the company. Yeah.